Maria Costantini-Ferrando in Rmanj, Inglewood. I grew up in Rome, Italy, and I moved here to go to college and never went back. My mom is from New York and my dad was from Rome. So I grew up bilingual and bicultural. I was always the American kid when I was in Italy, and when I was here I was always the Italian kid. So it took some adjustment, but it benefited afterwards. So I went to high school, finished high school in Rome, and then moved to New York, went to college at Fordham because my family members had gone to college at Fordham, so it seemed like that was the place to go. After that, I moved to Berkeley, where I did my master's in clinical psychology, and then transferred to Northwestern in Chicago to do my Ph.D. in clinical psychology. And then I did 2-year internship fellowship at Mass General in Boston, specializing in adult clinical psychology and then consultation liaison psychiatry. Then did a formal fellowship in that at Memorial Sloan Kettering, which is where I decided to go to medical school. Took a year off to do all my post-bac, prepared to go to medical school, applied to medical school, got into Cornell Medical Center, went to medical school there, did residency there, did fellowship there. So I lived almost half of my life there, and then finished there and came here to Rmanj. But I'm done studying, I really am. I'm not, as my husband asked me if we were going for a JD after this, and I said, no, we're done, swear to you. I have 4 kids and a dog with 3 legs. Very important. She's a survivor, that's why I point that out. And I have 3 boys and a girl, and they are a major part of who I am, and they constantly inspire me in the work that I do, for sure. And somebody asked me that once, and if it makes it easier or harder for me to have kids doing this job. And what it does is it makes me understand the essential nature of what we do, because I can't imagine my life without them. Well, in New Jersey, we've been to friends' houses who have homes near the seashore, because we don't. And in New York, we like to go to the Hamptons with friends. And next year, we like to go to Martha's Vineyard, check that out. We haven't been there yet. That's next on our list. And when we have time, we like to go to the seashore in Italy, although the kids don't like it as much because the waves aren't as fun. I happen to think it's nice. Lower waves for me is a positive thing, but I guess the kids don't agree with that. I've been an athlete all my life, always ran and played soccer, never officially, because in Italy women don't play soccer, at least not when I was a kid. And now my kids all play soccer and baseball, and I have no idea what happens with baseball, but I try to pretend like I'm following, and they're all into running. Question that everyone asks is, can you help me? Can you help me become a mom? And it's usually from the patient, not the husband. They're the ones who are the most vocal about, can you help me reach my dream? To be part of the most important time of a person's life. There's nothing better. What this place is unique for is the fact that there's never any hesitation to better ourselves. To look at what we do and see where we go wrong and what we can do better. There's never a arrogance in what we do. There's just conviction in what we do, but never arrogance about it in the belief of infallibility. There's just always a questioning, and we look at each other and we look at ourselves and what we do. And if there is a mistake, we don't hide it. We don't deny it. We try to fix it and see how we can improve it. And there's also a strong commitment to the patients, obviously, but also to training, to teaching, fellows, residents, medical students. All of this is part of the philosophy that has started with the partners, with Dr. Scott, and that trickles down at every level. And even with the junior attendings, such as myself, there's always an atmosphere of learning, and there's never a sense of anything being stagnant here. I mean, our patients they're strong people. By the time they come to us, they've already been through a lot often. They're determined, and they're very much willing to work hard as they have to get their goal. But they're also at the same time very fragile and very vulnerable. And there's a lot of patients that I can think of who I've become friends with, who I think did so much better through the process because of that personal contact. And because of the feeling that, yeah, even though they didn't see me every day, they saw me most of the times, many times, and they knew that I was there even when I wasn't. That sense of trust and confidence, I think, made the whole process so much more manageable, because undoubtedly it's always stressful no matter how much we try.